Hey, welcome back to our series on cognitive distortions. These are those mental patterns that really twist and affect our emotions and actions. Let's consider an example. Like during a job interview, you stumble on one question and your mind spirals, I blew it, I'm an idiot, no one ever will hire me. And the negative cascade exemplifies cognitive distortions, doesn't it? They magnify a single misstep into a total failure. Cognitive distortions are like, funhouse mirrors, distorting our experiences. I think the key here is recognizing that these are warped lenses. Consider the difference between thinking, I'm terrible at public speaking and observing I'm having the thought that I'm terrible at public speaking. It's very different and allows for clearer perception. And whilst challenging, why do we have them? I think these distortions serve as mental shortcuts, complex situations. Think of them like a Swiss Army knife, that they really allow you to apply correctly, especially in high stress scenarios. But the gift lies in recognizing when they help or mislead us, and the wisdom to actually notice the difference. However, these distortions can fuel anxiety, depression, and poor decision making, and trapping us in negative thinking spirals. Recognizing them helps us challenge and see clearly. Remember, thoughts aren't always facts. Today, we're going to explore overgeneralization. Have you ever thought, I'll always mess up, or nothing ever works out for me? These thoughts paint reality with the broad, dark strokes, overshadowing the nuances. I'm Chris Stafford, and we'll explore overgeneralization and its impact and methods to offset it. Imagine walking your dog represents your life. It's a journey filled with countless experiences, opportunities, and memories. As you stroll, your dog, stops to sniff a patch of grass. You notice it's brown and it's patchy. It's a bit disappointed. You think, all the grass in this park is dead. There's nothing beautiful here. But wait, is that really true? Look at this area. It's vibrant. It's full of life. There's many more spots just like it throughout the park. Yet by focusing on just one dry patch, we might convince ourselves that the entire park is barren and lifeless. This is how overgeneralization works, really. It's a cognitive distortion, and we take a single event or a piece of evidence and just draw broad, sweeping conclusions that simply aren't justified by the facts. Let me share a story and really paint this picture for you. I want you to meet Alex. Alex recently interviewed for a job he was excited about. He prepared thoroughly, he felt confident, but a few days later he received an email saying the company had chosen another candidate. Disheartened, Alex thought, I'm never going to get a good job. Every interview I go to is a waste of time. In that moment, Alex took a single experience and allowed it to define his entire future prospects. This overgeneralization not only dampens his spirits, but it affects his motivation to apply for any other positions. He started avoiding job listings, he ignored calls from recruiters, believing it was all futile. Let's step back. Was Alex's conclusions actually accurate? Was one rejection truly indicative of every opportunity out there? Overgeneralization is really like walking through a beautiful park with your dog focusing on the one dry patch of grass. By zeroing on that small imperfection, we miss the grand and more beautiful whole park. So how do we offset this distortion? How do we repaint our reality more accurately? Dr. David Burns offers several powerful methods. Things like just identify the distortion. The first step is awareness, like catch yourself using words like always, or never, or everyone, or no one. And these absolutes are red flags. We talked about that in all or nothing thinking. You could examine the evidence. Challenge your thought by looking at the facts. Ask yourself, is this belief based on solid evidence or feelings, or isolated incidents? In Alex's case, has he really failed every interview? Or were there times he succeeded and, received positive feedback? Another example might be the survey method. Talk to others. Sometimes getting an outside perspective can help. And Alex should speak with friends or mentors, might remind him of his strengths and past successes. Running experiments, test your belief. If Alex thinks that, he'll never get a good job, he could apply a few more positions and see what happens. Sometimes it's stepping back and taking an experimental approach. Tim Ferriss is really good at this, at running experiments in life. What about thinking in shades of grey? Instead of the black and white, which we talked about, consider a spectrum. Maybe Alex, didn't get this job, but it doesn't mean that he'll never get any job. It's just one experience of one many. So the example all or nothing is black and white. Generalization, overgeneralization is you're making the broad brushstrokes. So we see that life is actually full of diverse experiences, just like this park. Some patches may be dry, others may be lush and full of life. And by recognising overgeneralisation, we allow ourselves to see the variety and appreciate the full picture. Let's try a practical exercise to really bring this concept home. Think of a recent event that you've been really feeling down, a time when you might have been overgeneralised. Maybe you didn't get the response after the job application, or perhaps a friend didn't return your call. Maybe you didn't get the date. Maybe you didn't get the result on the exam. Now write down the thought that came to mind. Did it include words like always or never? Did you make broad conclusions based on a single event? Have you taken the one thing, and David Burns refers to this beaker, and actually, does it filter and cloud the whole thing? Or rose-coloured glasses or dark tinted glasses, where you're taking one thing and just seeing the whole situation through that event. You make a broad conclusion based on single events. Next, you could challenge that thought. Is it an overgeneralisation? What evidence do I have that contradicts this belief? Can I think about times that the opposite was true? Again, Tim Ferriss does this really well. Look him up. And what are ways to, what's a more balanced way of looking at the situation? So I think by systematically questioning our overgeneralizations, we can really start to rewire our thinking patterns. Remember that our minds are powerful artists, painting the canvas of our reality. When we overgeneralize, that we limit our palette to shades of grey, missing out on the vibrant colours that life has to offer. We speak of all or nothing thinking. It's just black and white and shades of grey in between, but there's also colour and spectrum, and the room that you walk into is full of many things, right? And each day is a new stroke on that canvas, a chance to see things differently, to embrace the full spectrum of experiences. Thank you for taking the time with me today as we explored overgeneralization. It's one of the many cognitive distortions that can cloud our perception. By becoming aware of these patterns and applying the methods that we've discussed, thanks to the insights of the work of Dr. David Burns, we can now start to clear the fog and see our lives more accurately. If this message resonates with you, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Together we'll continue to uncover the ways that our minds shape our reality and learn the strategies that cultivate, a healthier, happier mindset. I'd love to hear your thoughts and your experiences. Have you noticed overgeneralization in your own thinking? How have you managed it? Share the comments below. Your story might, be the light that guides someone else. Remember that one setback doesn't define you. Just like different patches of grass in the park, your life is filled with countless moments of possibilities. Embrace them all. So, until next time, take care, be kind to yourself and others, and keep painting reality with the full spectrum of colours that you deserve. Bye for now.